Round 11 of the 2014 GP4 Offline Championship takes place in Hungary for the Hungarian Grand Prix at the Hungaroring. That's a lot of mouthful there, but that's a lot of mouthful there, I should say. But anyway, we're here for the 11th round of the season. Last round in Germany, it was won by Robert Ionescu, who beat the Mercedes. So it'll be interesting to see this week here in Hungary who is going to take victory here. And an interesting stat is that every year in Hungary we've had a different winner. We have yet to have a double winner here in Hungary. So this will be very interesting to see if any of the guys on that list will be able to win again, apart from James Willows, of course. But anyway, there's 14 corners. There will be 70 laps of this race. The length of the circuit is 4.381 kilometers. Lap record set by Florian Volker at 1:17.4. The cars were insanely fast back in 2009, ridiculously fast. But anyway, the tyres that we'll be using for this race will be the super soft tyres, and the driver of the day was no surprise given to Robert Ionescu for winning last time out. But anyway, here is the starting grid for the Hungarian Grand Prix, and surprisingly on pole position it is Romain Quag for Williams, who took pole by I think it was like 26 thousandths of a second. It was very, very close ahead of Jay McKenzie. Third place is Wade Cooper for Mercedes. Fourth place, Will Nella for Williams. Fifth is Robert Ionescu, the winner last time out for Red Bull. Sixth, Joseph Williams for Ferrari. Seventh, Florian Volker for Ferrari. Eighth, Nicolas Gal for Red Bull. On the fifth row of the grid, we have Alex Southgate for McLaren and Omar Carr for Force India in 10th place. 11th place is Vedran Vetrida for McLaren, and 12th place is Franco Lopez, good qualifier for him, for Marussia. 13th place is Rick Yan. 14th place is Oliver Glazebrook. 15th place is Kirosima De Rosa. 16th place Franco Gamba. 17th place Rifki Harkazane for Force India. 18th place Robert Hunter for Toro Rosso. 19th place David Greenwood. 20th Roberto Gamba. And on the back of the grid is the two caterhams of Cameron Anderson and Julius Anderson, who, as you can see, his name is different from what it was before, as he's changed his nationality from German to Swedish. So just thought I'd let you know. And obviously over the last week we of course had the sign-ups for the 2014 season. As you can see here, these are the big announcements from the sign-ups, with Ricky Harkazane and Alex Southgate both announcing they will retire at the end of the season, and Cameron Anderson will not be racing next season, and Caterham will also not be racing themselves next season, and Haas will be taking over from them as the 11th team. But as you can see, the race for the moment will be dry. However, there could be heavy rain come the end of the race, but all that matters now is that the 5 lights are on and we're underway for the Hungarian Grand Prix. Who is going to get the jump into the first corner? It looks like Romain Quag has got a good start as they head down the front straight, heading in towards turn 1. And has he got the lead? It looks like the two Mercedes moving about. And can Cooper make a move on the inside? Not quite. And Quag just about takes the lead as McKenzie goes wide into the first corner and drops down a couple of positions, drops down to 5th place. As Romain Quag keeps the lead, they head now down towards turn 2. So looking at McKenzie and Robert Ionescu defending from him, coming into turn 2 around the long left-hander. As we're going to have a look at the replay here on board with Will Nella. So was he the reason why? And oh yes, there was contact between him and McKenzie, hence why McKenzie went wide and lost a couple of positions. And we're looking on board with Oliver Glazebrook in the Sauber here, and oh dear me, and the who was that? That was the Force India of Ricky Harkazane, who obviously has announced his retirement at the end of the season, has unfortunately gone into the back of De Rosa, who himself has gone into the back of I think it was De Rosa there. Anyway, we look at David Greenwood, who's making a move into the chicane, and oh, he's made contact with the Marussia there of Roberto Gaba, who himself comes back onto the track right in front of Cameron Anderson, and he drops down a few positions there. But what a start to the race we've had, is now Cooper's on the inside of Quag, heading into the first corner. He's going to take the lead of the Hungarian Grand Prix, and yes he does. There's a battle for third place on as well between Ionescu and Nella, and Ionescu makes the move for P3. So not the best start that the Williams would have wanted as they're coming into turn 2. So we're already on the second lap of the race. Been a dramatic start so far. Kenzie is trying to recover positions after getting involved in the first lap. As we're looking at Wade Cooper, who's coming down towards the fast left-hander, the infamous place where Roman Grosjean did the illegal overtake on Felipe Massa in real life. As we're looking at the Red Bull of Nicolas Gal right behind the Ferrari of Joseph Willis, as McKenzie tried to make a move coming into the chicane, but there's not really much room to overtake there. It's not really an overtaking spot. And this track is of course nicknamed Monaco without the walls. As we're looking at Romain Quag, who's already under pressure from the Red Bull of Robert Ionescu behind him. Quag defends, coming into the right-hander, and Quag defends again. He's not going to let him through very easy. Ionescu tries to get on the inside. It's still side by side, but Quag just about keeps the position there. And now Ionescu is going to have another opportunity, surely, coming onto the front straight, heading into turn 1. Probably the best overtaking spot on the track. He's coming through the final corner around turn 14, and there's a yellow flag out somewhere as Willis has gone wide, coming round the final corner. And he nearly loses control of the car, and he loses quite a few positions. Look at the amount of positions he's losing, just about outside the top 10 there. So let's see what happens. So just went wide coming into the final corner, just went on the Astro, and then just lost so much momentum, losing so many positions. As we're going to have another look from this point of view, I have not really seen many people go very wide at the final corner before, but he loses quite a few places there. Drops down, I think, to possibly outside the points, and yes, he does. And something else happened on the lap as we're looking at Julius Anderson, who is coming around, and he's gone wide, and he goes off, and that's a big crash there for Julius Anderson, who has gone off the track. He was running in P18, he had a lot of fuel, went wide, lost his bit of the front wing there going off the curve, and unfortunately that is his race done and dusted. And there goes the wing, and then unfortunately from then on he just was a passenger, couldn't stop the car, and there we go, goes into the wall. And as we look, you can see Anderson obviously still got the German flag, so he's still on his name there. As we're looking at the battle for second place, still raging on as now Ionescu tries again to get down the inside of Quag. He defends. Quag goes he goes very wide there, Quag, and stops right in front of the Mercedes of Mackenzie there. That wasn't great there from between the two. So as you can see, Quag tries to defend, goes a little bit too wide there, loses the position to Ionescu, and then comes out right in front of Mackenzie. As we're looking at Nicholas Gall right behind Nella, who's behind Mackenzie, who's behind Quag. A big train here in the battle for P3 here on lap 4. Mackenzie's now making a move on the inside of Quag, and now Gall is making a move on the inside of Nella, heading into the first corner. Just about side by side. Will he make the move stick? It's still side by side. Gall's on the inside. Has he got the move done? I think he has. And oh no, maybe not quite. Nella's still hanging on, and so is Quag. So Nella will try and keep P5, heading down towards turn 2, unless Gall can go round the outside, which I think he is, and he's done it. What an overtake by Nicholas Gall there. Moves up into P5, goes round the outside of Will Nella coming into turn 2. That was a great move. I honestly thought Will Nella had the move covered off there, but Gall kept the momentum round the outside and made the move stick for P5. A great move there by the Hungarian in front of his home fans, let's not forget. As we're going to go on board with Will Nella from his point of view. So he was on the inside. He thought he had covered Gall off, but he didn't realise Gall had the momentum coming around the outside and had the preferred line heading through turn 3, heading towards the middle sector of the lap. As here is Mackenzie, still right behind Quag, who's somehow just about holding on for P3, although he's locked up there and he's gone wide, and Mackenzie's surely through, and Gall is surely through, and Nella could be through as well if he's not careful, and he is, and Willows could be through as well, but he's really defending, and Willows just about squeezes through, does Florian Volker. He squeezes through there into P, I think it was 6, but you can see Quag getting himself a bit out of shape, locks up, goes wide, misses the apex completely, goes wide off the curb and loses so much momentum, and he lost a couple of positions. Then Volker really tried a really late move. How there wasn't contact there, I have no idea, but they got away with it. And let's have a look. Look at the how close it was between the two. Had Quag not moved out there, there would have been contact for sure. As we're looking at Volker, but he's now got Quag right behind him as they're coming down onto the front straight, as Quag is now going to make a move back on Volker coming into the first corner, and he makes it stick to the two McLarens behind, battling for position, Vadrina and Southgate. And Vadrina moves up into P8, and now he's going to have Volker in his sights, who has been repassed, I should say, by Rowan Quag. As we're coming now onto the front straight, Jim Mackenzie setting the fastest lap of the race in P3. As we're looking at Vadrina battling with Florian Volker for P7. He's on the inside, side by side, as they head in towards the first corner. Vadrina on the inside, surely he's got the move done, and he moves up into P7 on lap 6 of the race. And as we have a look at the rest of the field coming through, as we're looking at the Red Bull here, this is Nicholas Gall running in P4 right now, as there is Franco Lopez, who's being overtaken by Robert Hunter in the Toro Rosso, and he makes a move stick for P12. Good move there by Hunter. As we're looking, there's a yellow flag out somewhere. That is and it's Roman Quag who spun at the penultimate corner at turn 13, and what has happened to the French driver? And oh dear me, it's not been a good race for the pole sitter, sadly. It's gone from bad to worse. It was such a great qualifying. No one expected him to get pole, and unfortunately for him, the race has got a whole lot tougher not the race that Quark would have wanted at all. As we're going to have a look what happened. Did Virginia have any contact? No, he couldn't have. It was a mistake of Quark's own accord because Virginia was nowhere near and went wide onto the Astro and then spins the car, and that is destroyed his race. Could he get points? I mean, it's still possible, but will he get top 5? I don't know. I'm not sure, but he's dropped way down the back of the order. Oh, he dropped down pretty much right to the back, I should say. So it's going to be tough for Quark to recover, but I imagine he'll certainly recover a few positions through the back markers, but we shall see. Looking at Joseph Willis battling with Omar Carr, and he just about makes the move stick there. That was very, very close. Carr was certainly not letting him get through very easy there, but Carr went a bit wide is the reason why Willis actually made the move stick there. And now he's got the Toro Rosso right behind him of, I believe this is Robert Hunter, with Franco Lopez not too far behind in the distance, but surely going to make a move into the first corner is Robert Hunter. It's side by side between the two, and on the inside into turn 1, and Robert Hunter makes the move for P10. The last point spot is now Franco Lopez could actually try and make an overtake on Carl. Franco Lopez, who's so far the only driver yet to score any points so far this season. And now here we are looking at a battle for possibly the lead, but right now it's a battle between Robert Ionescu and Jay McKenzie. They've caught up to Cooper in front, but now Ionescu's going to have more problems than he bargained for as McKenzie moves down the inside and takes second place. And now he's going to go after his teammate Cooper, who has been leading pretty comfortably so far, but now it's going to be interesting to see if there will be any team orders or not as we're coming on to the pit straight, as now McKenzie going to make a move on Cooper heading into the first corner. Cooper still leads on this lap, but he won't lead for long because McKenzie's on the inside, and surely he's got the move done. And the answer is yes, they go both quite wide there, and that could give Ionescu a chance if they're not careful. And actually Miklos Gau is actually not too far away in the distance either, as we're looking at a battle for P5. This is between Veteran Vedrina and Will Neller, and this is Vedrina going on the inside of Will Neller. Vedrina having a good race so far for McLaren. He's side by side with the Brit, and the Croat makes the move into the first corner, and he takes P5 away from Will Neller. And here is the battle for P2 between Kuba, Ionescu, and Miklos Gal, who's going to get himself involved soon if he's not careful. And Ionescu is going to make a move on the inside, heading towards the first corner. It's side by side between the two. Ionescu's on the inside. Is he going to get the move done? And yes, he does. He goes breaks a little bit late, but he just about gets the move done, and Gal can't quite make the move back on Kuba as they're coming now down in towards turn 2 as they come through. And oh, Ionescu's gone wide there. He's gone very wide, and oh, he's come back onto the track, and he's taken himself and Wade's Kuba out. That is fantastic news for Jay McKenzie, but for Robert Ionescu and Wade's Kuba, that is disaster in the championship race, and Jay McKenzie can't quite believe the luck that he's getting right now. But quite astonishingly, Robert Ionescu has taken himself and Wade's Kuba out of this race. He just made the move stick, and then he locked up into turn 2, went wide, then rejoined the track and took Kuba out. Oh dear me, as we're going to have a look on board from Miklos Gal's point of view, who witnessed all this happening right in front of him. And you can see that Ionescu went wide, came back on the track. He was probably desperate to stay ahead of Kuba, but you could just see that was going to happen. And there was the contact, and the incident between the two will be investigated, so we'll have to see what has happened there, that is for sure. And wow, what a dramatic start to the race we have had so far here in Hungary, as now Veteran Vedrina comes in for his first pit stop of the race for McLaren. It's probably why he's had such a good race so far. He's been on a very light fuel load. And let's see where he comes out of the pits, as he comes in for the stop. And in he comes, and how quick will this stop be? Excuse me. It is 6.9, so that's a relatively quick stop. And let's see where he comes back out onto the track. He comes out just outside the points, as we're looking at Roberto Gamba, who is right behind his teammate Franco Lopez there, as they come into the pits, or as he comes into the pits, I should say, for the first time. And in he comes, so he's had quite a good race. I mean, both British have had good races so far, to be fair. So let's see where Gamba will come back out onto the track, and how well he'll do for the rest of the race. So let's see, and he changes all 4 tyres. How much fuel do they put in? 27 laps, so that will probably be, will it be a 2 stop, 3 stop? I'm not sure. We shall see anyways. We're looking at Rick Yan, who is battling with veteran Vedrina, who is obviously who just came out the pits a couple of laps ago, and I think he's just got past as Vedrina past Rick Yan for P10 at the moment, as Miklas Gal's gone wide there, coming into turn 12, and that isn't going to do his battle with Mackenzie any good. It's certainly going to let Mackenzie get away there, but he made a mistake there as he was coming behind the Sauber of Oliver Glazebrook, and had he lapped Oliver Glazebrook, he'd actually was on the inside, and he made the move, but he just went way too late to almost dive bombed it into the corner there, and Glazebrook got back past him again. As we're looking at Veteran Vedrina right behind the Marussia of Franco Lopez. Can he get down the inside? No, he can't, although Lopez goes wide, and Vedrina takes the position away. And that is P9 for the Croatian driver. And Franco Lopez, who I think has still got a while to go until his stop yet, another probably 14, 15 laps yet, as we're looking at Alex Southgate. Oh, and Alex Southgate's got a problem. And Alex Southgate has got a problem. And it is a brake issue. Will he be able to make it to the pits in time? I don't know, but he's held up his teammate quite badly there. Veteran Vedrina coming around to the left-hander. And, oh dear me, Alex Southgate, who announced that he was going to retire. He's going to retire from the series at the end of the season. And unfortunately for him, the brake problem, will he be able to get to the pits in time will be the interesting thing. He's still got a fair bit of the lap to go. And, I mean, the brakes are an important part of a Formula 1 car, so let's see if he can make it to the pits. I don't know. I mean, he's still going. He's still going at half the pace. There's a yellow flag out as well, and it's Joseph Willows. And Joseph Willows has spun. And what has happened to him? He was battling with Robert Hunter, who was actually pitting on this lap. And Hunter was on the inside. And oh, he made contact with the side of Joseph Willows there. And wow, that will not please Joseph Willows at all. And Robert Hunter, who was actually pitting on the same lap, makes contact with the Ferrari of Joseph Willows and spins him round. So Robert Hunter, I mean, I don't know if he'll get anything with that or not, but he's pitting this lap anyway, so he could have actually waited technically. So Willows probably will be even more angrier than he'll realise. And you can see Robert Inescu is going to receive a 10-place grid penalty for causing that crash with Wade Kubik in the next race, the Belgian Grand Prix at Spa. So wow, that is a significant penalty, and I'd probably say I wouldn't say that's harsh. I think that's probably deserved. I mean, he rejoined pretty unsafely there. He could have just waited and then overtaken Kuba a lap later, but, well, that's the penalty given, and that is the final decision. And, wow. So there we go. Alex Southgate in the pits there, and he did get to the pits with that brake problem, so he's managed to get that sorted, as we're looking at the Mercedes of Jamie Kinsey coming in for, I believe, his first pit stop of the Grand Prix. And in he comes, and he's coming into his pit box, and in he is. And is there any other teams in? No, I think he's the only one in this lap. In fact, he comes in. Gal will now temporarily take the lead of this race in his home Grand Prix, so that'll please the home crowd. And obviously Miklas Gal, who has won here before, so he could become possibly the first driver to win to win the Hungarian Grand Prix twice. So it'll be interesting to see, and I can't actually remember if Mackenzie was one of the ones on that list who's won here or not, but if so, then he could be the first one to win twice, I'm not sure. But anyway, as we're looking at Miklas Gal coming into the pits for the first time, and let's see where he comes back out onto the track. He'll come up behind, obviously he's behind Mackenzie, so it most likely will probably be a battle, I guess, between Mackenzie and Gal, although Gal is a fair distance behind Mackenzie, so he's going to need a bit more of a miracle. He's going to need some lightning pace to catch up to Mackenzie, who's already gone through turn 1 and heading towards turn 2 as Gal comes out behind Will Neller, who is pitting in a few laps' time. He's on I think a different strategy than Gal is, so Gal will need to get through him ASAP as he's right behind Neller coming into the corner. Will he make the move stick there? No, but Neller does go wide, and that is Gal through. So many people out breaking themselves into that corner to turn 12. Yes, that's turn 12 because there's 14 on this track, and he makes the move stick. There we are. And Florian Volker making a stop for Ferrari. In the pits he comes, and out he comes, a 6.9 second stop. And let's see where he comes back out of the track. He comes out in, looks like P5. Will he come out ahead of Roman Quagg in the Williams? The answer is yes, he does. As we're looking at Roberto Gamba coming into the first corner, we're looking actually at the battle for P11 between Franco Lopez and Alex Southgate, trying to recover after that break problem he had earlier. And Franco Lopez does now have the position, does he? I think he has. And well, I'm not sure. I have to look on the graphic. I think he did manage to complete the move. As we're looking at the McLaren of this is, I think, Alex Southgate again. There's a yellow flag out somewhere on the track. And oh, there's been a crash there. And Rivki Parkzane has been involved. And there's a Toro Rosso involved as well. And is that Rivki Parkzane out of the race? I'm not sure. But his car is sitting on the Astro. Would he be getting ready? I can't tell if he's lost a wheel or not. I know he hasn't actually, so he does rejoin. Has he lost any debris? No, he hasn't. So he's got away relatively unscathed. But the Toro Rosso there didn't. That was... I'm not sure. Was that... I'm not actually sure which one it was. I think that was Robert Hunter, I believe. And yes, it was. So Harkness was on the inside. And then they went wide and they made contact. And then... oh, wow, that was a big impact there with Robert Hunter, who lost his front wing in the process. They both went wide, and unfortunately then they made contact with each other while they were wide on the runoff area. And right there was the contact which lifted both cars into the air and broke Hunter's front wing, meaning that he has to pit. Fortunately, he's close to the pits, but and whoa, look at that! He tips the car, and he tips it right in front of Jay McKenzie there, and whoa, look at that! Just about almost tips him over there. That was very lucky indeed, and that has slowed down McKenzie significantly there. Not something that he would have wanted to have been involved in, and he nearly was. But his car is still intact, and he still leads this race. Importantly, and oh my word, contact there between that is Roberto. Oh my goodness me! And Roberto Gamba, a massive impact there for Amar Kar, who goes into the side of Alex Southgate's car coming into the first corner. Had nowhere to go. Just saw the car there, and boom, there we go. That is a huge impact which has destroyed Southgate's car. And oh my word, and he blocked the track. And wow, the Williams there, and Ricky Yang getting involved. The Williams there just sneaking through it. Oh no, and Ricky Parkzane hits the damaged car. And Nicholas Gau, did he hit the damaged car? I think he might have done as well, coming into the corner. And oh yes, he did. And Nicholas Gau, probably the only one to challenge, who could have challenged McKenzie here, is going to get absolutely nothing. And oh dear, and now Roberto Gamba has broken his front wing, going into the back of Southgate's car, which is still stranded in the middle of the first corner there. And Nicholas Gau, that is gutting for him, probably the only driver that was looked anywhere close to possibly challenging McKenzie for the win. But now I think that has gone out of the window. And oh dear me, there we go. And that is his race over. Well, I wouldn't say it, well, his race for the win, I should say, is over. And oh, that's Robert Hunter. And Robert Hunter has gone. Is that a crash? If that is a crash, that is one of the most unusual ones. And yes, it is. Oh, he goes way too wide and boom, into the wall. That is his race done. And that is him out of the race and his chance of points over and done with. As we're looking at Ricky Parkzane, the Indonesian driver, coming into the pits. And we're looking at Will Neller as well coming into the pits. And he comes out, 8.2, and always having to wait, I think, for a car to go by. And it was actually Nicholas Gowrie had to wait for to go by. And so he comes out behind him. And let's see where he... let's have a look at Roberto Gamba having to pit after that incident that he had with Alex Southgate, and he would have got away with it had he not gone into the back of Southgate's car, or at least stranded into his car there. But hey-ho, he rejoined 11.7. He is now pretty much almost last, as Rivki Parkzane, I think, is he waiting for a car to go by? And now he does have it. 35 seconds. Blimey, I think, did Amar Kar pit on the same lap then? Because otherwise, why was he being held there for so long? That seemed a bit excessive there. I'm not sure what was going on there. I don't know if we'll see a replay of that or not. But anyway, Joseph Willows now right behind Cameron Anderson, coming down the front straight, and he's going to make a move into the first corner surely. And it's side by side between the two, and surely Willows has got this move done and dusted into turn 1. And the answer is yes, he does. He moves up into P9 past Cameron Anderson. So that is him up another position, as we're looking at McKenzie right now, still comfortably in the lead. Will Neller battling with Florin Volker. Will Neller, 35 laps, 10, 20, 30. So yes, actually, Will Neller actually will be going to the end of the race on this set of tyres. So I think he's going to be looking pretty good for a podium right now, I think I have to say, Will Nuller. I don't think he'll get second, but I think... well, I don't know if he'll get second or not, but he'll certainly get third, I think, at the very least. As we're looking at him coming down, heading towards turn 2, as we're looking at Vedran Vedrina in the McLaren, coming into the pits for, I believe, well, I imagine the final time, I would say. And let's see where he comes out onto the track. And he rejoins. He comes into his pit stall. Let's see where he comes out. So will he be going to the end? The answer is no, actually he won't. He'll be doing one more stop before the end. I would have thought he would have gone to the end, to be honest, done the same thing that Will Nuller did, but I guess not. So he was, I suppose he was one of the earliest ones to pit, I think, actually. So he's going on the 3, so but I think it's been a pretty good race for Vedrina, so I think he's going to get at least, I imagine, a top 5, as we're looking at Joseph Willows attacking the Sauber of Rick Yan, coming into turn 12. Rick Yan goes wide, and Willows has got the move done, has he? Yes. Makes it into P8. That is another position up for the British driver. As we're looking at McKenzie coming down into turn 2, he's got a very comfortable lead right now. I don't see him losing it, as we're looking at the Williams of Roman Quagg, who actually 10:28. So yes, he will be going to the end, actually, will Roman Quagg. So he's already up into the points. So it's been a pretty good recovery from Quagg. We haven't seen much of him since the spin he had earlier on, but he's going to get some points for sure as he goes a bit deep in the corner. But he makes it past Franco Lopez, who at the moment is on course to get his first points of the season. So well done to him. So I would say well done to him, but the race, of course, is not over yet. As we're looking at the battle for P5, this is between Florian Volker and Vedran Vedrina, but of course Vedran Vedrina will be pitting before the end. I don't actually know if Volker will be pitting before the end or not, so I need to check his fuel to see if he pits before the end, because this could be a battle actually for position. And if Vedrina does make the move stick, and yes, it will be actually, it is a battle for position, because they both will be pitting before the end, so that's an important move by Vedran Vedrina on Florian Volker, and Volker will want to stay close to him if he wants to get in front. As he makes his stop 5.8, that's pretty quick, I have to say. And well, but it's not good for him though. He's got the Caterham that's come out just ahead of him there, as he comes out of the pits. And here is Jay McKenzie coming in for his final stop of the race on lap 55 of the Grand Prix. He comes now into the pits for the final time. In he comes, and I imagine he'll still come out in the lead. So he's got a comfortable gap to Gal because of obviously that getting involved in that collision with Southgate earlier on, which was obviously not his fault, but several other drivers got involved in that, so it spiced up the race a bit. But it's a 7.8, not a particularly fast stop, but he rejoins the track anyway. And so where is Gal? I think Gal's probably just about coming around the final corner by now. But McKenzie comes out in first position, comes out just ahead of the Williams, I think that is of Roman Quagg. And yes, he does now, because Gal actually has to make another stop before the end, but he's also got the Borussia in front of him. And as you can see here, the rain has finally come. It was forecast, and now the rain has come towards the end of the race. So the question is, will it, at the moment it's obviously still not wet enough for dries, but Gal I imagine will pit, wet enough for dries. It is dry enough for dries, but will it rain enough to be wet at the end? We shall see. But the rain has now come. The skies have clouded over as Will Nuller comes now down the front straight. So I think Gal will just about still get ahead of Will Nuller onto the track as they rejoin, as Franco Lopez rejoins as well on the pits in P8. And Will Nuller, where is he? I don't know, but Gal crucially has come out ahead of him, so that P2 should be safe and secure. As we're looking at Rick Yan in the Sauber coming in for his final stop of the race. And let's see where he comes out onto the track. And let's see, so he makes the pit stop. And let's see how quick the stop be. Fuel to the end. And it's 8.1, not particularly fast, but he, regardless, will come back out onto the track in P12, so just outside the points. As here is Franco Lopez, who's battling with Joseph Willows for P7 right now, and Lopez is actually going to try and make a move on Willows coming into the first corner. It's side by side between the two, and he makes the move stick. And what a race Franco Lopez is having. He's set to get his first points of the season, or his first points finish of the season here in Hungary, as we're looking at a battle. Is this a battle? No, it can't be a battle, because I think this is Meglascal lapping Roman Quag, and indeed he does. He gets up, he passes him and kicks P2. I was going to say Canelo didn't come out ahead of him, but here is Rick Jan battling to get back into the points after his last stop, and he moves past Kirosima de Rosa into P10, and they've got, I think that was Cameron Anderson, I think it was, that is in front of them. So my car comes out the pits for his final stop, so he, for some reason, the team didn't fuel him enough to go to the end, so I imagine he will not be too pleased about that. I wouldn't be in his situation, but he rejoins as we're looking at Rick Jan, who's now battling with Cameron Anderson, coming down the front straight, side by side between the two, and Rick Jan surely is going to make the move, stick for P9 into the first corner, and yes he does. He makes it up into P9 and gets now 2 points, so now Cameron Anderson has got 3 more laps to hold on for another point for Caterham here. Would he be able to do it? I don't know, but he's got Ricky Parkinson, who's got past De Rosa, who is right behind Anderson, as we're now on to the final lap of the race. So will Anderson be able to hold on for P10? I'm not sure what Parkinson is battling. He's just about on the inside. Is he going to make it stick there? No, Anderson goes a little bit wide, but Parkinson can't quite do it there. And I imagine he'll probably do it coming onto the pit straight. He's going to be right behind Anderson, but he's got the Red Bull that's lapping him there, so it's going to affect him, that's for sure. And he drops behind him, and now he's going to have De Rosa for company if he's not careful. But as they're coming now down the front straight, but Gal will surely get past Anderson, so will Parkinson get a good run? He's going to have the slipstream, I think, because Anderson had to get out of the way of him there, as we're looking at a battle, looking at Quag there, who's running in P6 right now. But here is your race leader, Jay McKenzie, and as you can see, Ricky Parkinson has actually got past Cameron Anderson, as you can see on the graphic below, for the final point spot in the race. So unfortunately for Anderson, couldn't hold it for one more lap. He was under pressure so badly there. So Parkinson gets the last point spot, but that doesn't matter right now. So we're looking at the race leader, Jay McKenzie, who took advantage of that crash between Waze Kuba and Robert Inesco, and Jay McKenzie comes round the final corner, and McKenzie wins the Hungarian Grand Prix and extends his lead in the championship. Congratulations to him. As we're looking at Franco Gamba, who's had a very lonely race in 16th, comes across the line, and veteran Virginia that was in the McLaren takes a very impressive P4. Well done to him. Florian Volker will take P5. I think he'll be fairly satisfied with that, and he comes across the line. And Rick Jan is going to take 2 points for Sauber. It's been a pretty good race for him. He comes around the right-hander, and he will take P9 for Sauber. More points on the board for them. As we're going to look at the rest of the order come through, Miguel Ascal, in front of his home fans, will take P2. I think he'll be very happy with that. It'll be a bit gutted that he couldn't have won, but P2 will still be good nonetheless. Ricky Parkinson does take P10, ahead of Cameron Anderson in 11th, who just holds off from De Rosa in 12th. And Roman Quag is going to come around the final corner and take P6. So he recovers to P6 for Williams. So that's not a bad recovery, to be fair. And Almar Carr comes across the line in P13. Roberto Gambit's to come across the line in 40th position, but behind him is Franco Lopez, who's going to take his first points finish of the season in P7. Well done to him. Oliver Glazebrook, a very lonely race for him as well, comes across the line in P15. And Joseph Willers comes across the line in a pretty disappointing P8, but Warner comes across the line in P3. He'll be very happy with that one, that is for sure. But there's your race leader, Jay McKenzie, and it was still raining, of course, you can see, but the rain was not enough to make the track wetter before the end, although it was getting pretty damaged, you can see just there. But here are your full race results, with McKenzie taking the fastest lap at 1:18.6. McKenzie winning from Miklas Gau in 2nd, Moon in the 3rd, Petrina in 4th, Volker 5th, Quag 6th, Lopez 7th, Joseph Willers 8th, Ricky Jan 9th, and Ricky Parkinson completing the points in 10th position, with Cameron Anderson just missing out in 11th place. He would probably be pretty good about that. With the rest of the order, with De Rosa in 12th, Amakar 13th, Roberto Gamba 14th, Oliver Glazebrook 15th, and Franco Gamba finishing last in 16th, with Robert Hunter, Alex Southgate, Robert Ionescu, Waze Kuba, Julius Anderson, and David Greenwood retiring from the race. So that was 6 retirements, wasn't that? I believe it was. As we're looking at the driver's standings, McKenzie got a very comfortable lead now over Waze Kuba in 2nd, with Roman Quag now equal on points with Kuba in 2nd, with Ionescu a little bit behind in 4th, 9 points behind. Woolen moving up to 5th ahead of Volker in 6th, Miguel Scout to 7th ahead of Joseph Wilson 8th, Ricky Parkinson 9th ahead of Almakar 10th, with Alex Southgate in 11th position. The rest of the order being Virginia in 12th, Rick Jan 13th, Julius Anderson 14th, Roberto Gamba 15th, Robert Hunter 16th, De Rossi 17th, Franco Lopez moving up to 18th, getting that points finish. David Goodwin 19th, Oliver Glazer at 20th, Cameron Anderson 21st, and Frank Gamba currently last in the standings with just a single point. But of course, all drivers have obviously scored a point so far this season. In the constructors, Mercedes nearly 100 points ahead of Williams in second place. It's looking pretty comfortable for them right now. Red Bull in third position, just ahead of Ferrari in fourth, Force India on the round in fifth, McLaren in sixth, Sauber in seventh, and Marussia move up to eighth with that points finish, just ahead of Caterham in ninth. Toro Rosso in 10th, with Lotus in last position with 11 points. So that has been the Hungarian Grand Prix. It's been a pretty enjoyable race, I have to say. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to, as usual, vote for your driver of the day and give the race a rating out of 10. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and we will see you for the Belgian Grand Prix at the infamous Spa-Francorchamps circuit. So thanks for watching, everyone, and we will see you there.